Right, so it's still the 20th of the 2nd, 2025, and there's been an evening of bikes to erections. So, before I fell asleep, it's basically about 50 loud bikes tied to my penis, tied to shooting impulses in the penis, tied to sexually excited sexual impulses in the penis, when my penis goes up. So we have a few things that have been said by seagulls and crows as this has occurred. Anything from fuck gag, G-A-G, to fuck your gag, to fuck my, M-H-Y, or my, M-Y, and repeatedly. So obviously I'm forced to stop wanking and forced to stop getting erections and fall asleep for a bit. 8:43 p.m. Time to uncontrollable sexual excited penis impulses shooting up, means to time 8 times loud bike, and then it continues. So I try to wank, because obviously I want to go wanking session, because sometimes if you don't wank, obviously this is very personal, but I'm getting bucked off with it, you can get migraines, and obviously having a chest infection, I haven't been doing much of this lately, and it does cause headaches, so you need to do it every so often. Right, so the first 20 loud bikes to erections, all tied to sexual excited impulses, and one of them comes with a crow or seagull saying fuck your G-A-G, gag, and ha ha ha, and obviously there's 8 times loud bike that's being purposely driven to my penis repeatedly, so that occurred about 20 times. So I have to stop a minute, and then obviously re-wank 8 times loud bike and 6 times loud bike, then 7 times loud bike and 2 8 times loud bikes as I re-wank. Right, so then we have to add another 10 plus loud bikes time doing this, making it very difficult to do what I want to do. A crow said you should be with my, or M-H-Y, right, or a seagull, I can't remember which animal made it. A dog barks you're going to the fire of hell, and telling me to shag M-H-Y, my. Then we have more loud bikes after that, after I stop for a minute. There's 3 loud bikes to erections while stopping for a minute, so I'm being forced to wank again after that with fuck D-A-G by seagull, and another loud bike 9 times loud. Time going for a private session again. Just reading the sheet, that's why I'm a bit confused on what's. And then obviously You're Dangerous just banged after that, and then obviously time to impulses, sexual excited impulses in the artery tubes, in the penis tubes, timed as the cum or the wee goes through the tube, and you get like an impulse. They need to time a loud bike, and then that basically takes you to where we are at this minute in time. Right, a lot of catalytic converter control, but before I go into that, I just want to mention there's been a bit of burning and gritty eyes last night and this morning. Yesterday I went to take some pictures of some things, and unfortunately not a single picture come out, not one. Out of all this curse I got around me, God made fucking sure that not a single fucking picture came out. Not one fucking picture. So I got to pay another just under 10 quid to buy another train ticket to go to exactly the same place, hoping that there's going to be cloud because the sun's hazy at the moment, to retake the fucking pictures that I took yesterday, because the creator cursed my fucking camera to get no pictures at all. There we are, started catalytic converter, Christ. It's gas, Christ, gas. It's to suggest a granny on a Zimmer frame. You're buckled to fuck, creator. Yes, you're malice. You're absolute fucking staking. You're a cruelty bastard, yes. Gas control around me, because it's got a catalytic converter on it. God wants to tell me that you're controlled by a catalyst. Yes, it's gas control, Christ. So I'm going to cross in gas control. So I'm not very happy about having to redo what I got to do today because of yesterday. But like I said, we're under gas control. The creator's fucking buckled. Woo, my willy's up, bike from behind. Right, catalytic converter set up, willy up's a bike from behind. Penis up's a bike. Wayne, lorry and texts. Right, so there's a God's Love t-shirt. And obviously there's been a few cars, mostly dark red cars and black. Hasn't been too bad at the moment. Or a Tesco van. Your dreams will come true van. That's interesting because usually when I see that vehicle, there's usually a negative dream that I've had the night before. The dreams I've had recently are more inspired of Jehovah turning against me or Yahweh turning against me. But it doesn't go into much of a theme, it's just seems to be that. But anyway, your dreams will come true is the van that's just been timed. Right, so the photos I wanted to take yesterday, they have actually come out today, so I'm a little bit more happier. I had to spend a bit more time, but it is actually brighter. So it's grey cloud, obviously, nice grey weather, but it's not that sort of watery, dark grey, rainy weather that you had yesterday. Right, yellow sex car, choked by catalytic converter, started car. Right, I inhaled some form of, I don't know if it's seeds or what it is, but something blew off of a plant, and I've just inhaled that, so I've been coughing out to try and eliminate how much I inhale, but some of it has gone into my lungs, which is not good because I just had a chest infection. So bonus, a bike timed, and Zimmer frame. And drain covers hit over. Right, so I'm in a church, same church I was yesterday in fact. Right, so the 5 Love Languages book, these are books on the shelf, so just want to give you some names of some of these books that are occurring. The Chasing of Love, Tokens of Trust, Sex with Aim Lear, what's that one there? The Child of God. Well, they're good books because obviously on sexuality I've never had anyone, so I don't know how God's going to replace that, but that's the books that are listed on the bookshelf. Obviously some of these books are not religious, but you do get other types of books in a religious place, which is a church I'm in. So you know, it's not a good suggestion, especially when you've not had anyone, and God's never going to let you have anyone, but worth mentioning. So a bird keeps on tweeting saying I've had sex with Amy Weston. Amy Weston looks very similar to the celebrity Gabby Borges in America, who's an actress singer, except Amy had slightly smoother skin than Gabby Borges and more of a sort of longer face, but in a sexual pattern than Gabby Borges. Otherwise, take that away, Amy Weston looks identical to Gabby Borges. Amy Weston I've never been with, I never had sex with, and God is accusing me of having sex with a sexual person. Unfortunately, the only sex I've had in my whole life is as good as me being raped as a child, Christ. We've got an issue, the Wayne issue, which they keep on bringing up with setups, and I've documented in the past or whatever, and you had the few moves that this Michael Jackson prostitute made, called Jeanette. So she is not a very good looking person, but it was a setup for the previous neighbours, or the old neighbours that were moving out or moving in, to get money to pay for the transfer that took place. And apparently two of the other neighbours, the ones that were making a couple of gun sounds or whatever, all that came to a stop and there was a conversation in the corridor to say that they're using me, saying that they know that I'm mentally disabled, and they're taking the piss out of him. And they said that, and they were saying they know how ugly this lady is, that they're trying to cause to be the prostitute or whatever, or the single lady. So they had some awareness, and obviously they knew about it, and there was never any problems from that specific neighbour right through until I left, the last couple of years or so. But what I will say is I'm not very happy about the issue of this Amy Weston business, because obviously God is lying through his teeth, and the fact that it's on sexuality, when the only sex I've basically had is Jesus Christ vampirising me as a little child and stopping me get sex all my life, and now God's lying, claiming I've had sex with Amy Weston, which is not replaceable at my age at all. Quite literally, it's going to be impossible. So let's take Britney Spears in her early 20s. It's going to have to be at least that to even level to some extent of how Amy Weston looked. That's how bad it is. It's not possible. There's actually more books over here. One of the books is Face to Face with God, Bill Johnson. So obviously the problem is God's not providing the sex. God's cursing me with these words on these books or whatever, but God's not going to let me have no one. God wants me to have sex with people that raped me as a child and wants to rip the fuck out of me in every life. This is what I was saying. Jehovah is a cruelty bastard, a sexual slaughter tear apart, an ice-axing cruelty bastard that smashes a nice sheet of glass or fucking thin ice right through your fucking heart and through your chest. And also he's a fire-staking bastard that will burn you to a crisp, that will flare out raw, sour, intense pain of burning power. That's how the Creator works. The Creator's nasty. That's the only way you can describe it. He obviously might have treated other people with some respect, but God's treated me as a piece of shit since the day I was born. He was actually causing seagulls and crows to go ha ha ha, or making sounds while I was being sexually abused as a child. And it gets even better because, you're being stopped from getting sex, and at 44 years of age, you've got to take into account there's no fucking choice whatsoever but to go with someone younger, because I can't fancy the negative type. I don't take to a grey-haired lady with wrinkly skin. And why should I? Why should I be told to go with an old fucking granny for first ever sexual relationship, which is twice the age people were that sexually abused me as a child at the age they would have been when it occurred. I'm also known as a sick bastard by people that are nearly 10 years older than the age Jesus Christ was when he was crucified, let alone when he was in a sexual relationship with Mary Magdalene. But it gets even better, because Mary Magdalene was only 9 years of age when Jesus Christ sexually vampirised Mary Magdalene, and he was 28 when he had sex with her at the age of 9. Now that's known as paedophilia, but unfortunately in Jesus' day that was considered okay. The next problem is everyone's a single mother when they're the age of 18. Why should I be told to go with a single mother or a stale piece of shit that's fucked all my enemies, mostly 20 years or before ago, and being told to have the fucking leftover shit that I can't stand the look of? That's fucking sexual murder, Christ. That is blue fucking murder, you cruelty cunt. But that's the way God works. God is just an evil bastard that wants to rip me to fucking pieces and rape the guts in and out of me in every life and stopping me getting sex in every life. Well, let's put it this way. In my previous life, I died tragically in my early 20s. The clairvoyant told me that in my previous life I was working in a laboratory, and she was saying I was quite a good sexy type of female. She says, you were one that would have attracted all the men in my previous life. And also she said that I was sexually abused and I had a very sad childhood in my previous life. So if you consider it's happened in this life as well, that's 2 lives where God has fucked around with me and stopped me getting sex. And then you've got to take into account when I'm reborn into a new life after I lose my life in this life, then Jesus Christ is going to rape the guts in and out of me as a child again and stop me getting sex again by causing a deadly animal to bite my fucking guts out, or to strangulate me, or to paralyse me with venom, or kill me, or to get someone to murder me, or to cause an accidental death or something like that to stop me getting sex in my next life. And that'd be triple fucking times, Christ. That is how nasty the Creator God is. Just shows you how fucking spiteful the Creator God is. This is why, and I mentioned this 20 fucking years ago, if anything's going to be replaced, it's got to be done on planet Earth, and it's got to be done now, before it's too late. Incidentally, although I'm feeling a lot better and I can do more things now and walk about, that wheezing, or whatever you want to call it, that chest infection is still there. You can feel that whatever's in your chest is still there. It has not cleared completely. So a crow just continuously wants to tell me that I've had sex with Amy Weston when I haven't. That's how crooked the bastard is. They've been releasing a load of tracks as well back in the 2003 area to say that having sex with Amy, you're going to become pregnant and Jesus Christ is going to transform through you and you're going to make a doorway to paradise, and making fucking tracks like that. Well, no. If there's going to be no sex, then no, that's not going to happen. And it wouldn't happen anyway, even if you had sex. So, yeah, they messed up on that track. But obviously God is telling me that I've had sex with Amy. So God can't verify the facts. God's got to lie to me. God's got to put it down my fucking throat and telling me I'm going to the fire of hell for it as well. That's how cruel the Creator is. The Creator doesn't verify the facts either. The Creator God just wants to rip you to fucking pieces and destroy you and lie. That's what Jehovah is, Yahweh is, or Yah, or Jah. Even Allah, because Allah's known as the Almighty as well. So all those gods are just absolute spiteful bastards. There's a book that says The Joy of Sex and The Last of All Fighting as well on that bookshelf. I'm going to photograph all this so that I can show you what it looks like, you know, on the actual posts I put on Facebook. Right, so I just stopped the recording of what I've just mentioned, and one of the LED lights is glowing very dimly. So what's happened is on the ceiling you've got 6, you know, they're not incandescent light bulbs anymore because they changed them to these LED, but they're like the old-fashioned light bulbs. There's another 3 over there, so it's 9 in total in the actual chair area of the church. Well, one of those LED lights has just glowed dim, so about 10 to 20 watts worth of power on a low dim what you call it, and also it's moving a little bit because of the windy weather, but it's not moving that much. It's unusual for a light that's switched off to be on, but that's what's occurring. Right, so I'm just pissing about in the church, just wasting time till the next train comes. And obviously there's a Follow the Star, calm and bright, meditations for the 12 days of Christmas, the Church of England. Now my first name is Justin. Obviously it's not Welby as the second name, but my first name is listed on this Follow the Star. So it says, with welcome from the Archbishops Justin Welby and Stephen Cotterill. But the other thing I want to mention is there's a lady that's there's some religious picture, I don't know what it is. She's holding hay, so she's got darkish hair, and she resembles this smooth-skinned lady that I knew going back 20 years ago. It's one of these ladies that didn't moan about age gaps, and they didn't back in those days. And obviously I was a lot younger as well. She's also one of those types that would go with people my age as it stands today, even at the age she would have been back at that time as well, which again doesn't occur this day and age amongst many people. Where obviously enemies turn this person against me going back at that time with all the shit stirring that went on back then. But yeah, she's a sexual type lady, but the problem is, although it's only a picture and it's suggestion from the church, there is no way in living hell is that going to be replaced now. You've got about 1 in 1 million people that allow the age gap. That's it. I mean, it's difficult enough just looking for a single person, yet 1 in 1 million that allow the age gap or anything else. This is the problem. I was doing some prayers going back to 2022, asking if God could provide me one of his rapture dream girls or women or whatever you want to call it, to be in a sexual relationship with me, because, you know, before they become a single mother. But the problem is, with people moaning about the age, and everyone becoming a single mother before, as soon as you reach the legal age of consent, means it's impossible. So the only sex I'm going to have is people that raped me as a child. Jesus Christ wants me to suck the guts in and out of people that raped me as a child. There's nothing I can do about it. The bastards cut my throat. The bastards sliced my wrist. So certainly living up to my name just in time, with my fucking wrists fucking cut, and serving time just in time. Nothing I can do about it. Right, so this is playing up, unfortunately. So we've got a catalytic converter set up, and there's a van that says never and ever the good weather. The dairy house van. There's a rickshaw van, which is, I don't know if they're trying to apply sliced wrist or what they're trying to suggest, but WRIXON. So they're controlling catalytic converters, so it happens out of every single roadway, unfortunately, or it's going to start happening again out of every single roadway. They're starting to step up this action again. G-Van, G-E-E. I just want to mention that the digital audio recording device played up yesterday in the church, and it's exactly the same church where it's played up today. The next thing I want to mention is it's too late for God to help you when it comes to sexuality if you've never had anyone, because quite simply, for example, if we look at these girls that have rapture dreams on the internet, on YouTube, they might have a disconnect, or they might not have there might not be any ways of communication with those people, but also it's possible that you wouldn't be able to anyway because of the age they are. The next problem is, as soon as they reach their teens, they're going to have a boyfriend, and before legal age of consent, they're going to be a single mother. So how is that going to work if the Creator God needs to replace the damage done if you've not had sex in your whole life apart from being sexually abused as a child? Basically, God's cut your throat, or cut the throats of innocent people like just in time. The other thing I want to mention is God's not taking into account that if there are any children left, for example, of the only possibility left of single people, it's going to be too late to do anything anyway. So God's going to have to hold those people single until they reach legal age, which again is going to be almost impossible when you're the age of 44. This is what I mean. The Creator God's messed up fucking completely. You've had your wrist cut, you've been sexually hanged, and there's nothing you can do about it. I found out yesterday, actually the person that told me suffers from paedophilia. So it's someone I knew on the bus, but he sometimes speaks on the phone. But what he's saying is actually very interesting. Jehovah, or Yahweh, told Saul to kill women and babies. So if the ruler man, the Creator God, is telling Saul to do that, then that just says it all, doesn't it? And explains how nasty and how vicious the Creator God is, whether his name is Yah, Yahweh, Yah, Allah, or Jehovah. Right, so there's someone on the other side, waiting for the train on the other side, and I've just noticed that there's someone that looks like Kimberly, who's Sadie Dando's friend, or was connected to that side of the family going back 15 years or so ago. Obviously it's not this Kimberly Cox or Kimberly Hobbs, but is a lookalike. This lookalike has smoother skin than Kimberly Cox, less dry and sarcastic looking in the face, and she looks like she's roughly in her early 20s, possibly mid-20s at a push. And I don't know how old the guy is that she's kissing and cuddling, but let's put it this way, he's got grey hair. So if people are moaning about my age, why is that happening? Right, just to let you know what this Kimberly looks like, she's a sort of smooth skin, slim build, dark haired sort of lady, but it's not the dark haired lady that you expect to have that sort of zombie face or negative look. It's that sexual type, a bit like the witch type girls, but you know, the new age sort of girls maybe. They're very smiley type, and these, you know, smooth skin, but yeah, so I'll leave it there. Right, so it made my side busy, so I'm standing here. Obviously it's raining, but you know, people have just suddenly built up. Vaping stench. Right, Sale calls up me. Oh, whistles rack, black and blue white ambulance, love bag. Oh, whistling, Willie ups a bike. Same again, Crow says knife you dead. J&M van, spit talk up me, Sale call, more boner and so motorbikes. Black and blue white tined, Crook and Son, Dyson van, or Dyson, black and blue, forgotten the colour written down there, red timed, SW van, Rent-A-Kill van, Willie ups a bike. Right, so Willie ups a bike, Willie ups a bike, and Willie ups a bike. Willie up bike, 3 bikes timed to erection, Willie up bike, and 3 started cars, Willie up bike. Right, they're putting the rough people in my direction, so they're causing trouble. Right, so I've been dribbling bow whistled up and dribbling bow whistled up and bow whistled up. More bikes to erections and started cars being forced all over the place. Right, so catalyst control, back goes catalyst. More catalyst. Fuck's sake. They're stopping to go down any bloody area now. Putting rough people in my direction, that's what they're doing. Right, so sore throat, sweet smell after I already have flu and chest infection, but there's nothing you can do about it. These people are corrupt. JDT. Vaping stench. Fuck's sake. Right, so obviously the government are cheering. So JDT van, vaping stench, choked by catalyst. Back goes catalyst. Reversing started catalyst. Right, so I've been sneezed at eating, but there's nothing I can do about it because the Creator God or the government need to do this. Right, so my willy goes up, bike, and the path is about 10 times busier than it usually is, and deliberately set up while I'm eating. For that path, anyway. Right, the government are controlling me with a catalytic converter to stop me putting the rubbish in the bin. I don't like littering, but they give me no choice. They're just not stopping it. I can't even go to the toilet either. They need to do this, so I'm being controlled by a catalytic converter. Yeah, I had to litter. I hadn't littered, I had to put the rubbish on the actual skip. Now we've got vaping stench. No, the government aren't even going to let me go to the fucking toilet. Willy up. So bike my way. Like I said, this path there's never more than 3 people at the maximum, and now today is about 50. Learner car timed, black and fucking blue. Plastic surgeon van. Right, it's stopping me take the alternative route to the toilets. Right, so overhanging trailer to rip my legs off, catalytic converter, back goes vertical, and other screwed up setups. I go towards the toilets, back goes catalytic converter, because the Creator's buckled. Woo, sexy motorbike, Christ. Sex M-bike. Orange, black. You're crooked, Christ. You're fucking crooked, you buckled bastard. Right, so the government have made sure that I'm not going to get to a shop to get a drink as an alternative. DX vans. They've buckled me. Right, so penis up, bike timed, started car, bow whistled up, and I'm in soaking wet weather where I can do without this, but obviously the creator god's fucking buckled. Right, now the government are capping the vehicles so that there's 90% of every car on the road, black and blue, sexual, knife shade, gun shade, you name it, all buckled. It's a spit talk on a cell phone my way, sex course, says a phone, Christ, it's a phone. So the spit goes in on my lip and on my head. But that's what you need to do, Christ, because you're buckled. You're cruelty, you cunt. A red runny nose as well to go on the bus. A red nose, so obviously someone might have flu or cold, but this is what the creator needs to do. The creator's fucking twisted. Fucking hell-bent, fucking sick as fuck, cunt. Right, so there's possible flu, okay, it doesn't matter, it's flu. It's only flu, Christ, flu. You crooked cunt, you crooked fucker, Christ. Woo, willies up, Christ, woo, bike. You are fucking buckled to fuck, Christ. Our sex sucked the guts in and out of people that raped me as a child as the next setup. You're cheering, Christ, it's funny. Right, so my willy goes up and there's a bike with big wheels and pink in colour. So willy up, next bike. Willy up, bike upright on car roof. Willy up that motorbike. Black car with red line. Yes, it's a 10 times loud bike. Woo! Bike, Christ, bike! Yes, you're crooked, Christ, you're fucking buckled. You sexual slaughter fucking tear away. Right, now it's time for chicken pox. For the last year and a half, or a year and a quarter, they have to set up chicken pox. I remember my old place, there's arguments with the 10 Downing Street, the government, and the police force because of this issue of chicken pox, and it caused troubles. They didn't tell me the full ins and outs of the story, but they said that there's been a lot of problems regarding that specific subject. So they stopped it, and now they're doing it again now, for the last year and a quarter. Bike means mic, van. Be on your mic, van. More bikes on car roof upright, and just outright starting black and blue sexual, you name it, with every car on the road. Right, grey knife shaped, white and sexual and grey. Who's being knife said? Gore cum van to apply your cum. Right, M's your man van. I can't say what the name is because it offends someone. Magna van. Right, obviously the government want to fucking take the piss. Right, so grey mixed with red, Bradford's, GF, VP UK Forks van, started car, sex car, light on, grey white, 2 grey white, grey laughing armchair van, black sexual, sick grey white, you name it, lots more, couple of hundred. Right, rough people shoot and talk. Lots of black and blue, red, sexual, purple, black and blue, bluey, purple. Several sneezes next to me by the person. So I've had to put up with all that. I'm forced to change seats on the bus because it's so cool. sick, so. £40. Being told I'm blessed to say we're going to have a motorbike and 3 days at least. I've had to sleep for 4 hours, so I must have been knackered. So there's been loud bikes wanking and coming and 2 erections.